quick. Aaron, anything in particular? I'm sorry, it's being recorded. So. All right, there we go. All right, folks, welcome to the Democracy Delivered Thursday night open call and briefing. This is designed particularly for both our premium and regular participants. It gives an update as to where we stand as a company. It's designed to be an open forum discussion, and really we can head in any direction. As a reminder, premium participants enjoy a full disclosure of any company activity. There are no secrets. In that context, we try to be as upfront as possible with any of the knowledge we have. If there happens to be proprietary information in terms of pending deals or anything of that nature, we'll talk to it as best we can. But the company's plans are open source, and I think we end up being a much more powerful company to those premium members because the ideas that roll in are immense. So I think we're almost to 160 premium members, many professionals from different fields that have added value in extremely unique ways. We're an integrated web of extremely valuable capability now, and I'm very proud about that. And even our free participants that are just evaluating on the fence or otherwise hold their current stance, we're excited about their participation as well. So I think I'm not going to share screen, but I think I checked. I think it was 465 minus those that spots that we had dropped out. So I think it's probably somewhere around 435 to 445 total participants now, which is exciting. I am wonderfully energized tonight on a few different levels. I'm going to hit the wave tops of some key areas, but we are structurally getting organized. I credit Aaron Davenport for his effort on helping to build really a strategic roadmap through logic models that are tied to key performance indicators. We've got our first draft behind that, and we'll continue to iterate on it. He's reached out to our Sentinels and Guardians that have provided goals and that are holding to those goals, and others that are still working through defining those in the exact fashion. So once we nail those down, we can then have something to measure against as we move ahead. Along those lines, we've come to the end of the first month of the goal process, and I think we've got 5 premium members in the books this month and about 14 in process that have committed. There are 9 checks in the mail from Wade Nelson and several others. I didn't tally them all from a couple folks today, but I think we're going to hit our 20 per month goal. That's 5 times as many as we need, so that continues a trajectory that's very powerful. So that's exciting. So in that context, our capital increases, our overhead increased a little bit this month. We've got Sammy, Michelle, and Alex that are paid independent contractors at this point, and they're really, I can't tell how much we appreciate their efforts. Sammy in particular, the hours that she puts in have been immense, and she's really captured the spirit of the company, iterating at a rate that's been extremely helpful. She's gone through frustration, challenges, growth, and I think she's indicative of what this company kind of endears. We thank Alex, who openly allows us to talk about the fact that she has MS. She's going through some challenges that happen with folks that have MS at this age. We support her wholeheartedly. Multiple sclerosis is a brutal experience, and we're thankful and glad to be able to support her as she's going through some unique challenges this week. But she's a trooper. She's pressing through and holding to her obligations, and this company stands behind all humans, and particularly those that have been dealt a lot that are a little more challenging than others. So Michelle, we so appreciate. She has challenges at home that she overcomes in an immense way. She's raising wonderful children. I've known her for years, and she's extremely capable at communicating with individuals. She's tech savvy, and her kids are amazing, by the way. But it's just a pleasure to have her supporting, answering questions as an individual to reach out to. So our HR strength is growing. The commitment of the Sentinels and Guardians has really crystallized. They've endured a year now. Aaron in particular a business partner and friend who first listened to the idea, and supported it with a public praise and asked questions, and then has rolled to this date. So it's pretty exciting. So and all the Sentinels and Guardians are really tracking along in an immense way. We have challenges that exist in each. There have been divorces. There have been challenges. Tim Davidson, our accountant, is down hard with the most contagious form of the flu. And when I talked to him yesterday, he was pushing through hard on a number of things. But anyone that's had that hard strain knows how challenging that can be. So these are all aspects of our human experience that we continue to be honest, open, and move through in a great way. So with that said, we are looking ahead to some exciting times. I'm going to be visiting with Mike Bedard, who is a committed premium member along with family. He's going to be evaluating our mechanism for investment on the corporate side. He has an extensive Rolodex of counterparts and key members, but I think he really embraces our ethos. If it's not the right fit for him, that's more than okay. The preparations we're doing now to bring in our first shot of corporate money are excellent, and I credit Stacy, Aaron, Sam Barnes for their efforts in developing what might be best described as a pitch book. All of our recordings are open to example to Mike Bedard, so he can watch our process as we iterate, as we vote on things, and then watch how the products are handed to him. I think that's a kind of a unique aspect. If you were to envision any other business deal where one party could look across into the transparency of the other, it puts an immense advantage on the individual investing, because they can really look in any area and ask questions. So we are, I think, ready for that type of funding support. We're ready to begin iterating on the next version of building the proprietary system that we have. Unlike so many other companies, when they begin, they have to go from an uncharted roadmap, but we actually have a series of templates in terms of our processes that we can study, build in parallel. I share Justin Scott, our IT Sentinel's vision of pulling all of the code in-house, smoothing all those edges that exist between our interfaces. So the chat, the social, the website, our database management, our dashboards, our projected reality, our payment processes all grow to be much more smooth and are developed in a platform and an environment that allows us to continue to iterate in the future. So for those premium participants that...
Wait.
I'm sorry, was there a question?
I said, I can't wait.
Well, absolutely. And as I've been digging in detail with Justin and others, kind of writing down what we would spend money on. And it's almost like a kid at about 14 that almost has enough money to buy his first $300 car. And I just sit there watching all these other cars drive by, backup cameras, all this other stuff. My first vehicle was a $50 Toyota Tercel, which I sold for $75 to a junkyard. And it's a perfect analogy. We have a functioning mechanism that has been, glued together from inherent pieces that works. We just got to study that vehicle and build our backup camera and build our other things. So it is exciting. So it's, as the journey continues, we grow. We sit in a position of immense power. We continue to grow at, let's say, 20 premium members a month. We can negotiate with anyone. Aaron and I had great discussions about the fact of where the boundaries are. If corporate money asks for ownership, it's a no. Corporate money asks for management control at a level that usurps our credit process, the answer is no. If corporate money with porn, sells questionable, anything that's don't expect We respect the decisions. We respect their right to be whatever they are. Really are looking for folks that embrace all humans equally with an open heart and in the right fashion. So if I get any sense in any direction that this entity ends up going in other directions, then I'll work to pull the nuke button that says we're just going to stop this or change or move direction. So I say that with an impassioned process. So and I want all of us to sleep 100% soundly at night, knowing that we have an honest, legal, transparent, benevolent, greedy, money-grabbing, tenacious business that goes out there and returns value to our participants in the best way possible. It's kind of a wonderful paradox, but that's where we're headed. So, and that natural financial, I'll use the term greed, ends up benefiting the folks that need it the most at the tail end of the mechanism. So we're pretty excited about that. I continue to dream about that 17-year-old that just turns 18 that picks up our interface, has to navigate through a poor neighborhood whose father, in effect passed away, and they open up our interface and it's honest and it's clean and it'll be there for him for 40 years. And it never lets him down. And I think that that's a completely new thing that just doesn't exist out there. So, so with that said, there's a lot of machinations going on behind the scenes. Stacy and Sam and Aaron have done some great work on the pitch book. Aaron's got a wealth of information that he has already worked on between our philanthropic vision, our documents, our structure that is being kind of brought to the forefront. We are a simple but very complicated mechanism, and it's very interesting and different. It's hard to just describe what we are in a couple paragraphs. I mean, you can start to say, pay for participation in a transparent manner, and people start asking questions. So, which is excellent. I mean, nothing has changed, but everything continues to. So we're excited about that. Let's see here. We're continuing to transition to Bank of America. Tim's got that. As I mentioned, he's been out. Our legal support, Johnny and I talked. She's absolutely swamped by the reality of this tax reform. She's been in detailed classes learning about the impacts. You can imagine being a attorney with a state and this bomb hits you and you have to shift corporate statuses, shift information, learn, study, get answers out to folks. She gave me some examples, some folks that have corporate businesses that one member passes away and then divorce is pending and all this tax law hits. Figure it out. My goodness, can you imagine? So she's already indicated that we've got some structural changes to make, not major ones, but just some of our descriptive processes. And she noted that, thank goodness, we formed our corporation in Delaware because of the nimbleness and capability that state mechanism has to offer. So, she's so busy, but she's already thought through our corporate agreements, our operating plans, how we're going to structure things, and has work for us to do. So let's see here. Justin, who's overwhelmed in a wonderful spot with his current employment, building some key things. He'll be through the painful, heavy part this weekend. We talk often about the structural changes that need to be made on the IT side, and we are moving in those directions. Wade, I just want to credit, a good friend over years, has brought the prescription RX program in and is committed to bringing 10 premium members a month. He works dedicatedly. He is in there asking questions, making sure we're doing the right things. He's frustrating Sammy to no end, open kimono, because he's helping push us in key directions. He's impatient, and that's wonderful, and it's challenging. But we are averaging all that, and the product puts us in a better place. So the prescription RX program is a very interesting one. It's functioning. Democracy Delivered, I have a contract right here that is from the master company, and then one that DD has with, in effect, Wade's company. He's transferring 100% of the value from the master company to DD. And normally these have a step down of 50% or even 60%, but in the values he's negotiated in there, and I'll just note, I'm just going to open up the document and just read it real quick, the one line that matters the most. Bear with me. 0 to 10,000 monthly compensatable claims a month, we get $3 per compensatable claim. 10,000 plus, it rises to $3.25. Now, what that means is you hand the card for both prescription or non-prescription medications at your local pharmacy for the largest network. You get an instant discount that's significant, 60 to 80%. Wade got a $22 drug for $6, and then we get a $3 kickback on that back to DD. That we right now as company policy de facto, we haven't voted on it, returns 80% of that value. We'll probably be able to return more because I think it's going to be an immense amount of money. So not everyone shops in Amazon or every day, but folks take prescriptions and non-prescription medications in this country like clockwork. We're going to figure out the best mechanism to help our folks with that. It's on. You just got to get the Democracy Delivered RX number, give it to your pharmacy. We are still building our own personal website with the corporate data in that. We have to get that approved, and that's on our list. But there are other websites out there that are exactly the same. It's just their return of value is half of what that is. And there's a lot of benevolent factors that went into those dollar values. Wade was telling me a story today where he is offering our benefit to another $1 million member entity. He signed an NDA at 5 p.m. with some folks. Other individuals heard about the deal that's so good, and 45 minutes later, they're already trying to work around him. Had he not had the NDA in place, we kind of were chuckling about it. The ironic part is the NDA is in place. The key members are trying to work around them, but because all their work will end up benefiting our BIN number, no matter what, legally. If that comes to fruition, I'll talk about it more, but that'll be a huge infusion. You know,
we lost you.
Okay, yeah, I caught it. So it's still recording. So we might have two recordings there. So, all right. So the prescription plan, we will get key information out. But all you really need to know now is you go to your provider. If you, as an example, we have a bunch of military members, you can provide the number and they'll either pick TRICARE or that BIN number and see which is most advantageous to you. And in some cases, there may be a duplicate impact, which is kind of cool. So, which is huge. All right, so I've got meetings coming up with the Bedard family. We've got a pitch book in place. We are going to start to negotiate getting big dollars in, and that could be $250 to $1 million. You know, we're going to openly discuss between the Sentinels and Guardians the prioritization of that first corporate dollar that comes in. We're going to return some to our premium members, the 160 individuals. May get anything from a $3 to a $250 check, depending on how the Sentinels and Guardians view things. But keep in mind, that money might be best spent right in the middle, you know, getting $100 back and then really improving our processes. But we want to make sure that our premium members get a return that's much better than the market, so that if anyone comes at us in terms of, you know, our strategic return or anything like that, we'll be in a great place. So Aaron gave me great advice today. I'm eager to talk, but he said just wait till we're ready. So wait till we have all of our information well aggregated. You know, there's no rush to that. So our pitch book or the documentation that we drop on the table to corporate money will be open to our premium members to you know, help Murder Board, to ask questions, to study as we move on. So it's exciting times. All right, let me pause there and see if anyone has any questions in any key areas. Please keep in mind this is recorded, which is excellent. So if something's bugging you about an IT issue, let it roll. If you got questions on process, if we've got bumps and bruises we don't know about, and you do, reporting so that others question. Can anyone still hear me?
Yep, can still hear you.
Okay, great.
You're breaking up a little.
Okay. Excellent. Let's see, we've got key meetings coming up on Tuesday, Wednesday. We're working through that. I know Sam and working on that. We've got more stuff to do. Corporate side of our structure. John Kondratowicz is focused on policy. Sammy's done awesome work on verifications. Why don't you talk about just where we were and where we are now in terms of our ability to track how many stores we have. I know we talked about that today, Sammy, so I'll help fill in some of the data. So why don't you give an update there?
Sure. Well, currently we have 167 stores. I'll be working on getting the images on the last few tomorrow, or tonight if I can get it done. We were looking at purchases, well, verifying purchases weeks out. So if someone made a purchase, it would take like a week or more to see some of them. And now I can do them every day within a 24-hour period. I can usually see the sale. 2 days, 3 days is the longest it ever goes. But yeah, everything is pretty much up to date. Everyone's just sending me in if they have any trouble with their dash or they're not seeing a purchase. They've been accounted for. We just put them under admin until someone claims them, and then they just go to their number. So little by little, it's all just coming together with the dashboards, and we're completely caught up though. So everything tracks, and we have our own personal tracking system like we had with Amazon, but now it's ours, and everybody gets tracked through them all through every store.
Yeah, it's great. You used the word Amazon, and Sam and I talked today. You know, I know a lot of folks want to bring them back on. I am wrestling with how to do that if they just don't like the fact that we're returning, and I don't know the complete answers, but I think it's probably worth another try creating a site that meets their requirements immensely, and then begin to move our sales through them again. But I'm a little reticent. Amazon will come back to us at some point because we will represent an economic buying power that will be immense, and they will. You know, it'll be interesting, you know, over time on how that happens and when that happens. But, you know, Wade and I talked in detail. Should we just try to turn the system back on so that we can get new members in that process? If Amazon turns us off again in a couple months and then retains the funding again, you know, how does that play in? So it's interesting. You know, I hold no ill will towards the mechanism other than, you know, they could have told us when they first identified it instead of retroactively keeping a couple months of funding. So, but that's business. We honored all those commissions back to our participants fairly to the date we found out that we were, you know, in effect turned off. But you know, it's just the way it goes. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, let us know. If at first you don't succeed, you know, get canceled again. Maybe that's the old adage. I don't know. We'll see. But I haven't. That was a thought today that I'm iterating on that we're gonna work through. So, any questions on that? Okay, very good. I'm just going to run down the line then. Sammy, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, sir, that's it. Just thank you to Joe and Sherry Moore while they're on the line. Thank you so much. They've been so helpful and patient through this entire process and gotten us through it. So thank you so much.
That is, I totally agree. And next week and the week after, I look forward to thanking Joe for that 100 folks that he's just got sitting around out there outside his door. You know, I mean, they're
I hear you.
They're there. We're here. I mean, you mean, Joe, if you need permission to have any of them listen to our recordings, just shoot me a note. You know, it'd be great. But we're here for you. And I hear Sherry in the background. Thank goodness she's with us. So.
And Mike, Justin has something to add as well.
Awesome. Good.
It's more of a question. Do we happen to have, Mike, a list of our champions, the people that are bringing in other people that have
awesome. And Aaron, I can hear Aaron smiling right now because he's wanted to build a champions program for a while. I didn't want to waste our focus a little bit until after the Bedard meeting in about 7 or 8 days. I thought about setting everything up and queuing it up. We need a list. There are hundreds of folks interested participating.
Actually, here's my question. It's more of what I'm looking for are the champions that have been bringing people in, like Joe. Sherry
Oh.
and like Mike Moyers and like the people we know, obviously, but there's a bunch of people that are bringing people in that we don't really know a lot about. I feel like we're trying to get everybody's information.
That's a good question. So let me just offer.
And I think that if we had the people that were bringing other people in, and we can get a hold of them, then maybe we can get a hold of the other 10, 12 people that they brought in, et cetera.
Yeah, it's a great question, Justin. So let's come up with a new term. Champions right now are people that have corporate funding that want to participate. So, and I'm up for changing that, but I understand the spirit of what you're saying. So really, those that have recruited dedicatedly, I think Mike Moores is probably our best true champion as a Sentinel. So it's a good point. I'm glad you got it in the recorded fashion. Any individual that has a premium member join gets $75, which is not bad, but they really get the huge reward that's going to come in our post-expense profit, which is great. So awesome point. Anything else you want to throw out there, Justin?
No, I'm good. I was just something I was thinking about as we're just trying to get everybody's information into the database and make sure that everything is kind of on the up and we all know who everybody is, that kind of thing.
Great. So you're not bored lately, are you?
No, it's not. This is just something that I was thinking about recently, as I know this is a task that's been trying to get done, and I was thinking maybe we could shortcut it a little bit by calling the people who are bringing other people in and helping them champion it.
No, it's a good idea. It's a great idea. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up tonight. I know you're super busy, so. Okay, let's head just down the line. Bill, do you have any questions? Your brain's always running, man.
Yeah, I got one. It's not a question, it's an observation. I've just been clicking around the store, and I noticed a lot of the links, as I clicked on at least 6, are not working. So I don't know if anybody's checked that recently, but I just kind of clicked around. They weren't working.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That is probably have been around for months, or they just happened minutes ago. We don't know, but if you can.
Which ones aren't working?
Yeah, I'm clicking on a bunch of them. It's not just one. I'll just click on one and tell you what it does.
Refresh.
Yeah, so I just clicked on, what was that one?
Bill,
Durango, head west. Let's see, Diam works. Yeah, I would just randomly click on them and try them out because there's quite a few.
Oh, this is an awesome point.
Yeah,
so
try Sea-Bear work.
Sammy, how do you fix that? Does he have to do a hard refresh to clear his cache?
Maybe. Justin's saying maybe. We're thinking it's something else. Bill, if you just want to call me and get with me, I'll take care of it.
Okay, no problem. And the other question I had is that there are a lot of stores, and this is just fantastic. There's so many on here. Is there any way, I'm sure you guys have thought about trying to sort them in a way that allows you to kind of look through them a lot easier? Because as you build it, it's only going to get more difficult.
Yeah, we're working on a better method now, Bill.
Okay.
You can,
I figured you guys were.
You can search.
but it's by name, so you'd have to know. But we're going to put better mechanisms in for sorting that out better.
Yeah, we'll add categories and all that stuff. That's coming up.
Okay. No, I figured it was. Just want to mention it. Thank you.
And favorites. Yep, absolutely, Bill.
Okay.
Bill.
What do you have to talk to me about?
Tomorrow night. Anyways,
What's tomorrow night?
all right, I'll talk to you later. Love you.
What's tomorrow night?
I might go to a show tomorrow.
Oh, you might. You mean why didn't you put it in that? I meant this oven here, though. Oh, you use that oven. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Stand by. Joe, you still with us?
I am.
How was your fishing today?
Well, it was wonderful. The catching wasn't real good.
Oh, nice scenery, though.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Hey guys, sorry, I dropped off the line. I called in, so I apologize for that. All right, Sherry and Joe, did you have anything else you wanted to put on the record? Any questions or concerns?
No, just the only question that pops into my head about the RX deal. is I'm not clear about what are the participating pharmacies.
Absolutely. We'll get those answers to you. I'm going to have Wade reach out and basically set, I mean, it's all of them that anyone in a normal
Go to. So I guess it hung up on, now I'm back here. So hopefully you can hear me. All right, great. Okay, Joe, thank you so much. We'll make sure we get those answers out. The question was, what pharmacies are available and available to the RX program. And Joe, what are the ones near your house? I'm just curious that you'd be interested in.
Well, we have a Rite Aid, but which I think has been bought by Walgreens. I'm not sure. Maybe in the process of changing over.
That's right.
And we also have just like a locally owned pharmacy, and I know they participate with different prescription plans. I just don't know whether ours would be one of them.
Absolutely, no, it's appreciated. Okay, great, thanks, Joe. Sherry, do you have anything tonight?
No, except I'm really encouraged by how fast we're moving along and how smoothly things are doing, and all of family and everybody's hard work. It's really paying off.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking with us, guys. Awesome. And now to our first Advent supporter back from day one. Aaron, how are you tonight? He's reaching for the mute button. He is enjoying a drink with a spouse. Okay, very good. All right, let's go ahead and stop recording. Thank you very much.